Hello everyone. In this video I will tell you why your ex-girlfriend or wife is sure to regret her departure. And you will make absolutely no effort to do so. Often a question is asked, what are these comebacks, when half a year, 5 years pass and suddenly a woman comes to reconcile, telling let's try again, I love you. Although until that moment, until the breakup it was total indifference and anger, almost hatred of the negative to you. And now I will tell you all the most common scenarios, options, and you yourself will perfectly understand what this is all about. Scenario number 1. She leaves for someone else. Yes, you've failed the balance of importance, and there's no interest in you. She finds herself another man. But she hops from branch to branch, which isn't great, because a relationship has to go through certain stages, and that's not the case here. This will have a negative impact in the long run. Also, her new chosen one may have predator mode activated, because she is unavailable, there is a competitor and she is something unattainable with you. And suddenly he gets everything, or rather he got everything even earlier, because he already slept with her. And when she tells him that that's it, now I'm all yours. What changes? He takes her problems upon himself. Does he have to? Well, not always. That could be a problem. Okay, let's assume everything's okay. Another scenario is when everything is fine, they live together, she finds her man, and then she breaks up with you. She says, sorry, I'm not worthy of you, you'll meet a better one, or can say that you suck, it doesn't matter. A month passes, 2 months, 3 months she suddenly begins to have problems, because only some initial period of this life can be great and beautiful. But in every relationship there are problems, certain misunderstandings, disagreements, that is, someone in some way strains someone, somewhere adjusts. It's a fact, and in a relationship with you the negativity has already accumulated to the maximum level, and with him it has not yet accumulated, and usually after 3 months it starts to happen. So they've already got it all, each other. And what happens next? And then it's no longer a start romantic period. The most interesting thing begins to happen. Always our brain focuses on what was better than now. She will not think about what this guy is better than you, she was thinking about this when she left you, and when she has been with him for a month, 2, 3 months she starts thinking, what were you better at? That's what she's thinking now, that's what she's noticing now, when her new partner does something wrong. And those situations are bound to happen, and not once, not twice, not 3 times. This is where she may start to doubt a little and think about the fact that you weren't really that bad. I want to do such a tiny illustration and it will be very clear to you. The properties of memory are idealized. Here I am remembering high school. I didn't like school, I didn't want to go there, I wasn't interested. But if you ask me now, would you like to go back in time for 2 weeks? Well, of course it seems interesting already, it was cool. And remember, for example, the first job that you with a high probability did not like and you did not want to go there, and now you remember it in a special way. And so the same thing will happen to her after the relationship with you is over, but only after a while. Time plays on us, understand, she'll have associations and she'll have references, she'll think about it, it's inevitably. The next scenario is when, after the breakup, after a while, you have become not suffering as she would have wished, because she wants you to beg back. Although she doesn't need to see daily messages from you to confirm this, she just understands the logic of events, not forgotten, living fine, or suffering. But when you start living beautifully, and you're already in another relationship, she gets hurt very badly. But there are 2 options here. Option 1, she can't take it right away, and she might even write, but it's not worth responding to. Option 2, she'll see it, she'll get hurt, but she won't write. Why? She's afraid of rejection. She'll wait. When the relationship is already over, well, she'll understand by photos on Instagram and social media, or just, after a while, will already start pinging. So that's another scenario. I could describe for a long time what this is related to, what causes it, but just believe that very often this kind of scenario also happens. The next scenario, this situation where she has a lot of expectations. Let's imagine that she's gone to nowhere. And she believed in herself, that you were a burden to her. Now she's gonna have a career, she's gonna build a personal life because she gets so many likes on Instagram, she deserves better. But time goes by. A month, 2, 3, 4 months, and she realizes that she imagined it a little differently. And she realizes that with you it wasn't so bad. And she gave it up, she lost it. And she hasn't built a new one, and apparently she can't build one now. And that's a throwback. The next scenario is a situation where life has screwed her up a little bit, and that's bound to happen. You can be sure of that. The more bitchy woman you've had, the more likely this scenario is going to happen. I mean, what kind of situation is that? When you are abandoned, betrayed. Again, a month goes by, 2 months, it doesn't matter, it's not about time. It's about someone doing the same thing to her. Some guy just dumps her, ignores her, rejects her. Or maybe she has a crush on him and gets dumped. Or maybe she left for him and is rejected. That happens a lot too, and that's where she starts to realize that she left, she made the wrong bet, she's been hurt very badly now. What was it like for you then? She has a sense of guilt, and she runs back. Now we're not discussing the sincerity of that apology, that's a whole other topic. We're talking about coming back. And the next story, well, you've probably heard the recommendation, change yourself, she'll see that, she'll come back to you. As a tool it does not work. In this case, in a month and a half, as it is it can't be done. However, if we're talking about a considerable a year and a half or 2 or more, and you really get to a new level, in this or that area. You cross paths, and she notices that, but she also notices that you don't need her anymore. And this is where the epiphany happens. However, what is very important to notice, and no one talks about it. If you change yourself for her, it doesn't work. You do it for yourself, you forget about her. Then you meet her, and that's when it happens. That's the only way, no other way. You don't have to fool yourself. In general, friends, even if you take absolutely no action in the context of getting your ex back, but make no obvious mistakes, the likelihood of her coming back is already very, very high. I just want to give you one recommendation: if she starts to pull you, it happens almost always. That is, it's been a month, 2, 3, 6 months, she asks, how's it going? Could you do something to help? Ask or do something, clarify something, it's not a random thing. And now you have every opportunity to finally bend her over, with the right actions. Specifically, if you don't respond. And if you don't know how to act in this situation, it's better just to say nothing. But here on the situation, that is, if you think that she committed a serious offense in the completion of your relationship, then a dialogue is possible only after an apology, and nothing else. What to do with this in the future is up to you to decide. It's up to you.